Right now, all eyes are on North Korea, and from what we're hearing, and I already knew this information, I know RT is reporting this here, new Korean war may break out at any moment, according to the Chinese foreign minister. Now, we've been watching this kind of by play-by-play all day today with Steve Herman. Steve Herman is actually there in North Korea. He keeps sharing us up to date just by the minute almost of what's happening out there. The VOA News report DPRK forces vow toughest action against U.S. military. That's what he's putting that particular article out right there just to kind of let you know what's going on. Pyongyang vows toughest actions as U.S. Naval Strike Group heads to Korean waters there. And he's very serious about that as far as Mr. Kim Jong-un and what he's stating there. Watch what Steve Herman is showing throughout the day here already. We can back up just this morning here, for example, I'll give you a few of the tweets that came out that he put out already. The KPA warns toughest concentration against the U.S. and its vassal forces will be taken so they cannot survive, reports the KCNA. And then he's talking about the North Korean government there. Also, Japan mainland, Okinawa, Guam, other U.S. military bases, and U.S. mainland and sites of our strategic rockets, warns the DPRK military. That's, of course, the North Korean military. He also states here, drunken provocation of the Trump administration has become a dangerous step that cannot be tolerated, warns the DPRK military in a statement. All right, now Steve Herman, as I said, he is actually a journalist right now in North Korea. Okay, he states here the DPRK KPA statement also speaks of taking a preemptive strike and targeting U.S. military base and ROK and destroying Cheongwade. Now he's talking about hitting the U.S. military base there in Japan. He's also talked about hitting the presidential residence in South Korea, Seoul, South Korea, as well as U.S. military bases there in South Korea. Another one here. This is a threat escalation by the DPRK as it is coming from the spokesman of the KPA General Staff. Earlier one was from the Foreign Ministry. All right, so he's separating these two. There was the General Staff that threatens to destroy the military base, U.S. military base there in Japan. And the early one about the drunken provocation, that was from the Foreign Ministry of North Korea. Then we get down to 2 hours ago. He says foreign media in Pyongyang told to assemble at 5:30 a.m. Saturday to be taking somewhere, likely a military parade on the Day of the Sun. Okay, so they're still making they're still doing their preparations. China has already warned the U.S. not to strike them during their celebrations, not to do this, not to be provocative in this manner here. Then he put out this one here 54 minutes ago. The U.S. Air Force F-35A Lightning II fighter aircraft to deploy to Europe for training. The U.S. Air Force will deploy a small number of F-35A Lightning II aircraft this weekend, along planned with a training deployment to Europe. Now that may not seem like no big deal, but that's actually a big deal as well. You're going to find that out as we kind of go into this broadcast here, the very serious things that are breaking. Also, as I mentioned to you earlier, China already moving the S-300 system there to the border of North Korea there. Okay, but it doesn't end there. This is what really gets kind of concerning here. Look right here. The Deputy Defense Minister General of the Army of Russia, Dmitry Bulgakov, has arrived in Khabarovsk, Krai, near North Korea to inspect troops. You got that right. Russia has got troops that have been moving closer to North Korea as well. Why is Russia and why is China beginning to, we know, I've already given some different theories on China joining up on the border there. One of those, of course, being they could be joining in with the United States. That's what Rex Tillerson seems to allude to. But at the same time, it may not be. You know, again, like I said to you guys the other day, I could be wrong about that. Maybe China's not joining in with the United States to take down North Korea. They could be there to defend North Korea. I mean, that could completely give it a whole new meaning about this prophecy over in Daniel 11:44, where the tidings out of the north and out of the east trouble him, but he goes to make away many. But do you realize who the he is? The he is NATO, guys. The he is the NATO forces. Donald Trump leading the way right now, ready to take on Russia, ready to take on North Korea, and China may be willing to back him. A lot of people are going to die as a result of this.